YouTube family, what's good? It's your boy Enrico with the Bob, and today we're back with yet another video. Last week I got the new detailers in.
Oh my god! Wow! Oh my god!
Really enjoying these. I wish I had them for the actual video I'm about to drop. Today we're back with yet another video. In today's video I will be doing a low skin fade with the line design. In the video I take you throughout the entire cut. I give you each and every step that I use. And actually in this video I'm doing something a bit different. I'm not cutting with the same technique that I usually use. I'm going ahead and I'm using a different technique, so I know you guys will definitely find your fades will be much easier when you do use this technique. If you're new to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how you feel about this video, and definitely go ahead and give the video a thumbs up.
So let's go ahead and jump straight into today's tutorial. So as you can see, today we are doing the low skin fade with the line design, the full tutorial. So first off, you know, as usual, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna comb our client's hair out. So my client actually wants to keep the curls on top, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna accommodate to keep the hair longer at the top. So once we've combed our client's hair out, we're gonna go ahead and start clipping all the long hair, because we don't wanna have the long hair interfering with our haircut while we're trying to fade the bottom, you know, if the curls are falling. So we rather use the clips and make sure we're keeping the hair up in place. Next off, we're gonna start with our magic clip. So as you saw in the intro, I said I'm gonna be using a bit of a different technique. So basically I'm starting with my clipper with the lever entirely open. So as you get more used to your clients, you'll notice that certain techniques you use leave harsher guidelines, or it makes it just a bit more difficult to cut the hair. So as time goes on and you start learning their growth patterns, you find easier techniques and ways to cut the hair so that you do get the cleanest fade possible. So this is just one of the techniques I use on different clients. Well, as I get more used to the client, I tend to use different techniques to find ways to get a cleaner, blurrier fade. So now we're gonna go ahead and set in this first guideline right around the client's head. We got to make sure that it's even on both sides, and we're just gonna go ahead and make sure our lever is open. We're just gonna go ahead and clean that up. And now for the next step, we're gonna grab our number one clip, or our number one guard. We're gonna open our lever entirely, and we're gonna set in our next guideline of about 1 inch. And with this guideline, we're gonna make sure that it's even right around the client's entire head, and we go over it quite a few times just to make sure that it's even, so that when we do come through and start blending that bottom line out, it's much easier to do so. Now I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna close my lever, and I'm gonna start softening up that bottom guideline that we first created. So as you can see, I actually sped the video up, but I'm using the flick motion, so just so that it lightens that bottom guideline up much better. And as you can see right now, the line is already starting to blend in. Now that we got that bottom line lightened up, we can go ahead and grab our 0.5 guard So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our lever open, and we're going to gradually work our way down. So we'll just start with our lever open and then start focusing on that first initial guideline that we did create, and we're going to start getting rid of that guideline right now. We're going to start off by using our lever open and gradually closing it as we see the line beginning to blend away. And now that we got rid of our first initial guideline, we're gonna go ahead and start focusing on getting rid of the next. So we're gonna go ahead and put our 1.5 guard on. We're gonna go with our lever open. And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna use a flick motion, as we don't want to push this line up too much. We just want to keep it, that's basically where we want to keep the fade. So we want to try and keep the fade as dark as possible at the top there, and so that's why we're using the flick motion. And as you can see right there, I just closed my lever entirely, and I'm continuously using the flick motion and just softening up the guideline. Next off, we're going to go back to our number 1 guard. We're going to make sure that our lever is entirely open, and we're just going to go ahead and focus on that line right there. We're going to use our flick motion, and what we will do is we'll gradually close our lever, and we'll consistently do this throughout the entire haircut, or right around the client's entire head, to make sure that we get the cleanest blend possible. And as you can see, I'm going ahead and I'm using the corners of my blades, because there's certain spots that are quite darker than others. So when you do use the corner of your blades, it's much easier to get a nice blend on those spots. So don't forget to go in and adjust your lever. So don't just go ahead with your lever open, because you won't see much of a difference happening or a transition happening in the haircut. So when you do adjust your lever from it being entirely open to slightly closing it a bit to it being closed entirely, you'll definitely start seeing the results in your blend. Next off, I'm gonna go ahead and do some scissor over comb work. So as you can see, I'm using my comb at an angle. I'm not necessarily keeping it flat against my client's head. So as I'm scooping in, I'm lifting my comb at a bit of an angle, and yeah, making sure that you keep a consistent flow when you are doing scissor over comb, because you don't want to take too much of hair off. So basically we're just debulking right now so that we can come in with a 1.5 guard, and it will make blending or the transition so much cleaner, because you want to keep the top as dark as possible. Next off, we're gonna come in with our 1.5 guard lever open. We're gonna use our flick motion, and we're gonna consistently do this around the entire cut. And as you can see, our blend is nicely starting to come together. It's just a few steps left, some detailing, and then the haircut's gonna look really cool. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start folding the bottom out. So I started with my lever entirely open, and I'm gradually closing it bit by bit so that I can start folding the bottom out. And I'm using this technique as I said in the beginning of the video, because I'm used to my client's hair growth pattern and the type of hair texture he has. So when I do use this method, I don't leave any guidelines in the haircut, and it's much easier to blend his hair type using this type of technique. So yeah, I start with my lever open and I gradually close it bit by bit until I'm down to 0, and I basically ball the bottom out. As you can see, I'm using the corners of my machine when I am doing a haircut or using this type of technique. The corners of your blades are very important because you can get rid of a whole lot of dark spots, uneven spots with just the corners of your blades. So getting used to using the corners of your blades will definitely enhance your haircuts, and it's definitely a technique that you can use to your advantage. And it's okay to switch to higher guards. Like there, I just put my 0.5 guard on to get rid of a few dark spots. So if you need to go back to a higher guard, it's okay. So there I went ahead and I grabbed my Wahl Designers. So if you are new to my channel, basically I zero gap my Wahl Designers because I don't have any bolding clippers right now. So they give me the cleanest 0. So they bold out really nicely. I made them quite sharp. But I actually got the detailers in last week. Would have really loved to use it for this cut, but yeah. But anyway, so I use my Wahl Designers just to make sure it's nice and clean at the bottom. It's bolded out nicely. So basically what I'm gonna go ahead and do right now is I'm just gonna clip my client's hair off of his forehead. I'm basically gonna line him up lightly on this side because this is where we're gonna put the line design in. So I'm not gonna necessarily perfect his line up right now. I'm just like giving a rough sketch, just so that the haircut can come together, so that lineup can make it, so I can basically see what the end product of the haircut would look like. So I'm just lightly lining him up, and right here I was deciding what direction I wanted the line to start in. So I came to a decision, and first off, when doing a line design, you don't create harsh lines immediately. So you just go ahead and you create really light lines. You don't make them too visible. So this will basically be your rough sketch. You give your design some form right now. So now you just go ahead and you put some rough lines together. So it's basically all up to you. If you have a picture for reference, like this I just freestyled. It was something I thought about on the spot. So yeah, it just depends on you, like what your style is or what you're going for. And yeah, at the end of the video you'll see how his scar in the back actually, I create a design, like it actually becomes part of the design, because it was kind of bothering me after I put the design in. I took a few steps back and I was like, nah, I feel like the scars like messing the whole cut up. So I went and I added a little bit of a design onto, or created a bit of a design with his scar. So as you can see right now, I had the base down of my line design, and now what I'm doing is I'm just basically making it bold. I'm putting some shape into my line design. As you can see, the end is a bit thicker, and now the beginning of the line is also thicker. So these small shapes and these different type of styles, or extras you add to your line design, can really make it pop, and it really makes it different as well. So it's really original to you. So now I'm just going ahead, I'm adding a few bits and pieces here and there. So what I basically do when I am doing a line design and my client says I can freestyle or do as I want, I add a piece by piece. So basically I just think about, or I take a few steps back and I look and I think like, what could I add to this line design to make it look cooler, or to give it a different type of effect. So as you'll see, as the cut goes on, I just add bit by bit as I go. So it's always good to take a few steps back and just envision like what you'd like to see the haircut to look like, or what the end result of the line design, or what your end result, perfect end result would look like. Go ahead and dust your client off. Now I'm gonna go ahead and focus on the rest of his lineup. I'm gonna line him up on the left hand side over here, and then we're gonna go through and do some blade work. And always just like make sure that you wet your client's forehead before doing blade work, because it's really uncomfortable when you do blade work on dry skin. Well, I personally feel like it's an uncomfortable feeling, but I guess there is barbers out there that do prefer to do their blade work without putting any like shaving cream or water before starting with the blade work, especially on like a line design, because the hair on your head is quite thick. So if you're gonna do it without any sort of lubrication, I feel like it's gonna be a really uncomfortable experience for the client. And the nice thing I like about blade work when you are like cleaning up your line design is your haircut, the line design, everything immediately starts to pop as soon as you are done with all of your blade work, making sure your lines are straight, and makes it look nice and bold as well. basically, as you can see, the haircut is a bit different, or let me rather say the design is a bit different. I added on that little piece at the bottom there just to cover his scar. I really thought that addition would look really cool to the design. I was really digging it. Let me know how you feel about this cut in the comments. Don't be shy, give me your honest opinion on the cut. And if there's anything you think I could have done better or could have improved on, definitely let me know. This is what it looked like before we started and got the cut in. This is what it looked like after the cut. I'm really impressed with this one. I love the line design. I feel like the fade was super blurry, and yeah, my client was really happy with his haircut too. So if you are new to my channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Definitely give me a thumbs up and let me know how you felt about the video. Leave a comment behind. That's your boy Enrico the Barber. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Till the next one, peace.